Hi again. This is video number 2, Aaron Dragon Song, in case you missed that the first time. So what I'd like to do in this video is just give you a little bit of backstory of what is going on right now, why we're here in 2020, 2021, and the beginning of 2022, why the world is how it is. First of all, let me tell you that a lot of people didn't see this coming, right? Nobody, maybe that's not true. I feel like I need to start over. But back in the 1980s, I actually had a prophecy come through to me, and it was the first prophecy that I am aware of, at least, ever receiving. And it came through really clear, strong, and solid. And what I was given, oh, excuse me a second, I got my alarm there. What I was given is that, keep in mind that at that time I had been raised a Christian, and I was very new to other spiritual paths. What came through to me was that Christ was being reborn, but instead of as in one person, another Christ figure, Christ was being reborn in everyone. And it was given to me that that was vitally important, because one figurehead could be killed, as he was, and his message completely perverted. So now, with everyone, the whole world essentially being reborn, having that Christ consciousness reborn in their hearts, that heart consciousness, what I now call goddess consciousness, being reborn in each person, it couldn't be killed off. You can't kill off everyone. I mean, I guess you theoretically could, but then there's none of it matters, right? So I knew this was coming. I could tell that everything was changing, that there was going to come a day when everything we relied on as just the way the world is, as things that we can depend on that would never change, that was all going to fall apart. And this was very disturbing, but I didn't know what to do with it. And this was back in the 1980s. And the feeling, the energetic culture of the 1980s was so alien to what I was seeing coming that I thought it was centuries, literally thought it was centuries in the future. I could not believe it when it started to happen in my lifetime. And I'm living it. I'm going to live through this transition. It's amazing. It might not feel amazing at the time, but I'll get to that. I'll let you know why that's so amazing in a bit. So this is, in other words, not an accident. It's something that was planned for a long time. And it actually was planned in the 1980s. Up until the 1980s, humanity was planning to end our grand experiment on the earth in the 1980s. That was, we've taken this whole trajectory into ego consciousness, materialism, and we'd gone so far with it that we were almost at the end anyway. There was, there's not much further that we could have gone. And then we got to that point, and the sort of human soul, the oversoul of humanity, we all kind of got together and we said, you know what? Let's try to come back from the brink. And this is something that does not happen very often. This is something that is incredibly hard to do. And from what I've received, only one other culture in this universe so far that we know of has accomplished this kind of transition from going to the depths of materialism, absolutely cut off from spirit, or as close as possible, to being reborn into spiritual connection. We decided to give the grand experiment a go. And so life continued on the planet. We are here now because we made that choice. And I found out many years later that there were actually 3 occasions in the 1980s where we were within a hair's breadth of wiping out life on this planet. And at the last moment, miraculously, it was averted. And that's because those were our exit points and we decided to stay. And now we are doing this experiment. And that's probably why you're here, especially if you're watching this, that's why you're here. And that means something very special about you and something that you may not fully appreciate yet. And I want to really share that with you. So that's the near backstory. And I want to give you the sort of overall arc of where we've been and where we're going and why. And then I want to tell you why it's so important that you're here and what it means for who you are and what you're here to do. That'll probably be in the next video after this one. Okay, so again, please leave me your comments. I love to hear from you. I want to know if this is useful, if it's helpful, if you want more information about something, because I could talk for hours on this subject or, you know, many things. So I want to know what's useful to you, what's helpful to you. All right, wishing you all the best, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.